Hi, I'm Andrew Packer. I'm going to be demonstrating some flint knapping today. I work for a company called Dartmoor Wildcrafts, and we teach people how to live in balance with nature and using primitive skills. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you with this piece of flint how to make an arrowhead, and I'm also going to make to go through the stages of striking the flake to rendering the final arrow point. So we've got this beautiful piece of flint here. This is from the east coast near Kent, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to strike a flake underneath here. Flint is formed in sedimentary rocks from silica coming through in the rainwater over a geological time, and it produces this glassy material that has been used for hundreds of thousands of years to produce tools. So what I'm going to do is strike a glancing blow with this antler against the material, and we're going to create some flakes that come off underneath that we're going to use to make some tools with. What I'm doing is I'm trying to strike this on the very side of it, and what we know about this material is it breaks predictably. We can get these lovely sharp edges. Produces really good things for making arrow points and other things with. Okay, so once we've got the flake, that's the hard work really done, because the next job we need to do is take our flake and work on it at a smaller level. And to do that, I'm going to use a piece of copper. It could be antler, we can use antler for it, but I'm going to use a piece of copper and a hand pad made of leather, and I'm going to push flakes off from around the outside to shape it into a leaf shape first, and then hopefully an antler point. Now it should work quite well. We can always get breakages, but we'll see what we can produce as we go. So I'm just pushing the side here just to reshape the antler somewhat, and what that does is it creates sort of a serrated edge on here, and we're just reshaping this piece into a something that approximates a willow leaf. As the material gets thicker, we can use our body weight behind it to give us a little bit more push. Here we go. So as you can see, as I'm moving it, I'm starting to remove the material on both sides of this antler flake. So as you can see, we're starting to get what looks like a point at this end. And this is a scene that goes back to the Neolithic, goes back to the Bronze Age, when flint was still used for hunting. And even today, flint is used in some places in America for extending the hunting season. If you use primitive equipment, you can extend your hunting season. You can start to see now, like I've starting to point the end of this arrow point here. You see the material works quite easily. All I'm really doing is pressing this material. It's very, very thin. And then we can move that shape quite quickly. We've now got ourselves a willow leaf shape projectile point. I'm just going to do a bit of tidying up around the top here, because symmetry is everything with these things. It's just aesthetics really more than anything else. It'll still do the job even if it's got one side longer than the other. But start to get a bit fancy if we want. We can start to invasively flake at the base, and that gives that notched shape. See how I'm doing that? Just coming in like that. I'll flip it over and I'll do it again. Hopefully it won't crack. Rather than going around the edges, I'm pushing it in here, taking one from one side, then one from the other to create the notch. Now if we hold that into our arrow, this is where the binding would be. Now there's only a few more strokes left really to finish this one up. Here we go. And there we have our arrow point. It's just over 1.5 inches long. It's impossibly thin, sharp, and ready for our arrow.